Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. So today I have got some Caran D'Ache Luminance 6901 pencils, and these are the most expensive pencils I've ever bought. On the Caran D'Ache website, these are £84.99. I bought them from the SAA, the Society for All Artists, and they were on offer and I got them for £49.95. They were also on Amazon and I think they were about £55 on Amazon. So this is a box of 20 and it's their, I suppose, assorted colours. I've just ordered another box of 20 which are their portrait assortment, as I do a lot of portraits using coloured pencils, so I thought they might be good. The reason these pencils are so expensive is because of their light fastness. It says they're certified ASTM D-6901. And they also are bright, intense and bright colours, high pigment concentration, smoothness and superior covering power. Well, they certainly do exactly what they say on the box. Now it comes with a little leaflet about them, which also has all the colours that they actually do. They do a set of 100 pencils, which on the Caran D'Ache website are £449 or £450. I've seen them on Amazon and they're £248.30. Now this tin is a tin of Caran D'Ache pencils that I had when I was 12, and I actually bought them from Geneva, which is where they're made, and I've loved this box. I've used some more than others, as you can see, and I had them for years and I didn't even realise that they were watercolour pencils, so I didn't use them as watercolour pencils, I just used them as coloured pencils. But this is a very battered tin, battered and beloved, I would say. So they are very different to these Luminance ones, very different indeed. Now the Luminance ones have a very bright colours, very intense, and they are quite soft to use. I found them really nice, have to admit, and you could see the difference in the price. So for professional coloured pencil artists, they are a boon, because the problem with the cheaper ranges are that they will fade in time, and sometimes they will also get a waxy bloom on them. But if you're just starting out, these aren't the pencils for you unless you're really rich and don't mind spending all your money on them. Okay, so I am doing another baby portrait today. As you'll all know if you follow my channel, that I love doing baby portraits. And this again is the same son that I did last week when he was just a few weeks old, may have been a couple of months old, not sure, but now 31, so quite a long time ago. So obviously I'm drawing this from a photograph. Now, as in the one I did last week, his eyes are actually brown, but at this stage they were still that baby blue, which is quite a dark blue when babies are first born. What I did find with these pencils, I kept them very sharp, but they did kind of show the tooth of the paper through them. So you want a very smooth paper. At the end, I did try blending them using a blending tool, and that helped a lot. But I just loved the feel of them. They were just so nice when you put the lead to the paper. It was just a joy to use. And I did keep sharpening them because the leads are quite soft, so you do need to keep a good sharp point. So as always, as I always say, either with watercolour or colour pencil, or even if you're using graphite, you need to keep building up the layers. So you do one basic layer and then you build up with more and more, using where the shading is to build up more colour and definition in those areas. And using quite a different mixture of pencils. In last week's video, I just had 12 different pencils, 12 different colours, and they were the budget range of Faber-Castell's classic pencils. So these are very, very different. I do have the Faber-Castell professional set and I enjoy using those as well. But this may be unfair, but I just really wanted to show the difference between using a budget pencil and just 12 different colours and using the top of the range pencils. Obviously these won't be for everyone and the market will probably be quite small, but I think you need to see what's out there and what you could aspire to if you really, really become hooked on coloured pencil and also can afford to buy the more expensive ones. There's nothing wrong with the cheap ones, as I've tried to show time and time again, but it is just nice now and then to have a go with the more expensive ones. Again, just building up layer after layer. And this picture took me, this portrait, it's quite tiny, took me about 3.5 hours to actually do this. So it's speeded up to something like 1400 times because I didn't really feel that people would want to watch 3.5 hours of me colouring in. So it is speeded up. So just bear that in mind and also realise the time that you actually have to devote to something like this. It's not done in 10 minutes or even an hour. So give yourself time. But I do find it kind of all-consuming, and it really, I just become totally immersed in the work. And I always find that with my art, and it's just lovely. You just listen to some music or an audio book and just become totally immersed, and the rest of the world just disappears. It's so, I don't know, mentally helpful doing art. And this is just a little sketch in my sketchbook. It's not for a finished piece of work. It's not to frame or anything. It's just purely for the enjoyment of actually physically doing it. The process of putting coloured pencil to paper and seeing what you can get. So experimentation and enjoying the process. I think if you think that every drawing is going to be a finished work of art that you're going to hang on the wall, then you will maybe lose something, and also it puts so much pressure on you. Starting to fill in on his little collar as well. Now he was wearing a yellow knitted cardigan that my mother knitted, and I do find that I don't enjoy doing the clothes as much, and to begin with I would put all my effort into doing the face and then be totally bored with the clothes and really muck them up. So now I have to try to be a little bit more disciplined and actually spend some time and effort in doing the clothing. But I still would rather be just doing the face. This bit of the clothing I didn't mind. It's when I come in to actually try to do the pattern of the knitting on it that I became quite bored with it, and I can see myself where I became bored with it. So I'm always my own worst enemy. I can always see all the faults. This is the bit that I started to find tedious, because it was very difficult not to go wrong. I think in the end it didn't look too bad, but certainly at this point I was thinking, oh, this is boring. So you see, I keep going back to the face, just to kind of give myself some relief from doing this pattern. I think I'd rather knit the pattern than draw it. And I think I got a bit lost on the sleeve, but it looks okay. And again, can't beat myself up too much because this is just a sketch. So there's one side done. And he was sat in one of those little bouncy cradles. So that's what that piece of white and the label is coming across. It's now coming in and doing the other side, and I just thought I'd try a different way. So I thought if I maybe do the pattern first and then fill in the holes afterwards, but I'm not sure that really worked either. think the first side looked better. Never mind. And the sun was coming in and going out, as you can see there. And my cat thinks it's supper time. In fact, she's right, it is supper time for her. So you might hear her meowing in the background, I'm sorry. So beginning to breathe a sigh of relief that I am nearly done with this pattern. This is where I could really muck it up. So I have to be a little bit careful. But if you're finding it's getting really tedious, some part of your drawing, then maybe you need to take a rest and come back to it with fresh eyes and fresh enthusiasm. Or move on to a different bit of it. Now this is a burnishing pencil. This is actually made by Derwent, and it comes with burnisher, 2 burnishers and 2 blenders, plus an eraser and a sharpener. And this kind of just locks all the layers together. And the blender blends them. And what I think you should probably do is use the blender first, then the burnisher. But I just use the burnisher on this one. And it gives it a nice overall finish. So I hope you've enjoyed my video today, and if you have, please consider subscribing to my channel and like and share this video. See you next time. Bye.